Here's our featured matchup for test one for the women. Toomey in the upper left-hand part of your screen, Brooke Wells in the upper right. They're actually doing this test together side by side. Kari Pearce in the bottom left and Kristin Holte in the bottom right. These athletes submitted these videos. Their scores were not confirmed until they were looked at by a judge from CrossFit. We will not have rep counting, but you will know what rounds the athletes are in. Those numbers above their boxes will tell you what part of the workout they are in right now. All the athletes in the first set of hang cleans in this opening round.
It's really fun, Sean, to see how fast they are on those handstand push-ups without the standard of the line and your heels and just having the box be the standard. It means that lockout and kind of coming back down into the next rep can happen even quicker than when, a judge would have to check and make sure your heels were over the line. So I expect these handstand push-ups to be a lot faster than we've seen them in previous open tests.
Kari Pearce, bottom left, first woman done with her first set of 50 double unders. Toomey is second, followed by Brooke Wells and Kristin Holte. The two of them pretty much neck and neck as we are now in the second round of these opening 3 rounds before that 1 minute rest. Toomey upper left, off the wall first and back to the hang power cleans.
Kristin is the only woman that's going with that kind of between the leg prep. All ladies, though, finishing with those legs straight. So not even a hang power clean, just a straight hang muscle clean with those 35-pound dumbbells.
Toomey to the rope first. Wells right behind her, as is Holte. So Kari Pearce is on the double unders. All 4 women now wrapping up round number 2. Remember, after round 3, it's a 1 minute mandatory break.
First round was sub 1 minute for all these ladies. It'll be interesting to see if they can hold that pace throughout all 6 rounds of this test.
Kari Pearce once again done with her double unders first. She just beats Toomey back to the wall. Kristin Holte is third, followed by Brooke Wells in fourth, and Kari Pearce rifling through those third set of 10 strict handstand push-ups, and she is ahead of Toomey now as both of them return to the dumbbells. Kristin Holte is back for her third and final set of hang cleans.
We talked about this earlier, Sean, but I think it's a real benefit for both Tia and Brooke to be doing this side by side because, again, and we talked about this in stage 1 last year of the games, it's hard to know exactly where your pace is in relation to others. And Tia and Brooke have the benefit of knowing where they are in relation to somebody else.
Kari Pearce, bottom left, was the first to the jump rope, and she is done around
quick trip, actually.
Quick trip, so has to get right back to it. So that'll allow Toomey to cut into her lead a little bit. Toomey pardon me. And now Pearce is done. So 250 unofficially for her. So she'll get going at 350. Toomey was able to make up that distance between herself and Kari Pearce. And now Wells is finished, as is Kristin Holte. So 1 minute rest for all of them. Again, Kari Pearce getting in at about 250. So she'll get going around 350, and Toomey will start around the same time.
It's funny to see Tia redoing her hair during this minute rest. Most of us have our hands on our knees. We're gasping for air, and she's just doing a quick hair check. I think in all for these ladies, the 1 minute rest just allows them enough time to kind of reset and go full out on the second round of this test.
Remember that Toomey and Brooke Wells are doing this workout, this test, I should say, side by side, working out here in North America, but Toomey is officially competing in the Oceania continent. Kari Pearce is going now on her second round of 3. Toomey was right behind her. The two of them essentially tied because of that trip that Kari Pearce had in the double unders, and they are both of the dumbbells at the same time. Holte is in third. Brooke Wells is in fourth here on this second set of 3 rounds. So 10 kipping handstand push-ups, then the dumbbell shoulder to overhead, and then once again 50 double unders. Toomey and Kari Pearce continuing to lead the way here.
Surprisingly, Sean, Kari was the only one that did the kipping handstand push-ups. All 3 other ladies went strict, which is a faster way to get those handstand push-ups done, but can really fatigue those shoulders, and especially when you think about matching those up with shoulder to overhead. And of all the athletes to actually kip, she was the last one I would expect to be kipping, considering she did most of her handstand push-ups in Mary at the games in 2019 strict.
Second round now in this second set of 3 rounds underway. Tia Toomey or upper left got to the wall just ahead of Kari Pearce, who's right below her in the bottom left. And the two of them separated by just a couple of seconds as Tia Toomey or is now in the lead. Kristin Holte remains in third and Brooke Wells is in fourth. Toomey back to the rope. Another set of 50 double unders. Kari Pearce behind her. Holte picking up her rope, and here comes Brooke Wells.
So fast and with so many transitions, Sean, it's just impressive to see. There's little bumbling, there's little mistakes with all of these ladies. And we saw Kari have a quick trip with the rope early on, but as long as you step through and get right back to it, it won't cost you too much. It's if that happens multiple times, it will really eat into that time. Toomey back to the wall, last round here.
The final set of 10 handstand push-ups. Remember, you can kip these, but Tia Toomey or deciding not to do that. Kari Pearce is Tia Toomey in the lead. In another virtual competition, we've seen a lot of that, and I don't think any of these women are in danger of missing the semifinals, but it is interesting the dynamic that presents when you don't know what your opponents are doing.
Right. And again, I think we've hammered this one, but for Tia and Brooke to have each other to kind of game off of, it's a huge advantage.
Tia Toomey or is on her final set of 50 double unders and looking like she's going to turn in the top time. Remember, these are the top 4 times that we're watching here in test number 1 for the women. And no surprise that Tia Toomey or is in the lead. And Tia Toomey or wrapping up that set of 50, and she is in at 6:27.
Wow.
Kari Pearce at 6:32.
Ooh, quick trip for Kristin Holte. Great finish there, though, with 6:35.
And 1 second separates Holte from Wells. Here are the top scores in Test 1 from the 6 continents. We saw 3 of them get put up in that featured matchup. In South America, it's Sasha Nieves out of Argentina with a time of 6:53. From Africa, Michelle Basnet out of South Africa, 7:28. And then Svetlana Kubishkina from the Russian Federation at 7 minutes, 22 seconds. And this just goes to show you, we talked about this going in, that you had to find a way to shave seconds wherever you can. But at the same time, you had to be perfect.
Right. I mean, just 9 seconds separated Tia Toomey Orr's time and then Brooke Wells' time, that matchup right there. So it really did come down to not just being fast, but having 0 mistakes on this test.
Yeah, and speaking of perfect, that's exactly what Tia Toomey was in that video.
Right, and that's where I thought she would shine, is that she just has such laser focus when it comes to tests like this, and for her to not make a mistake was not surprising.
Yeah, and speaking of mistakes, Kari Pearce made 1 on the double unders, and it looks like that may have been enough to cost her the win.
Right, that was the 5 seconds possibly that separated her and Tia Claire Toomey Orr's time. She did do the kipping handstand push-ups, but also maybe were a tad slower, but I agree with you, Sean. I really think it might have come down to that 1 trip up on the jump rope where, Tia did not have any mess-ups anywhere in that test.
We have seen some very impressive performances so far here in test number 1.